A lot of times, people ask us, what are the best productivity tools I can use for various different reasons? Maybe as a student, maybe as a business owner, or maybe just for myself to be more productive. This is why we put together this video to cover Microsoft Teams, Microsoft To Do, Microsoft OneDrive, OneNote, Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. Basic versions for all these tools is free. If you're looking for premium version, you may need to pay additional money, but you can jumpstart at no additional cost. All of these tools are cloud-based, so you don't need to have any applications installed on your desktop. You will also have a mobile version of this tool if you'd like to use it on the phone or tablet. All of these tools come from the reputable vendor that will not go out of business anytime soon. Microsoft was always on the forefront of productivity innovation. And here, in this tutorial, instead of just saying, hey, this is the tool, this is the website, go and explore it, we put together a detailed overview of each tool and how you can use it to become more efficient. We realize that you might know some of them already, so if you'd like to jump to the specific tool, make sure to use the description of this video to check table of content and go to the specific section in this video.
Let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Vadim Mikhailenko, and I have MBA and master's degree in computer science. Most of my career, I worked as a consultant, helping companies implement solutions. I learned a lot of technologies throughout my career, but more importantly, I developed a methodology how to learn new skills, which I would like to share with you as part of my videos. I also work as an educator in a community college, helping people to learn technology and find jobs. I started online training for everyone to share the knowledge and help people to reach their goals faster. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Skills that you learn here will be helpful for you now and also in the future.
Let's first start by looking at Microsoft Teams and how you can use it to become more productive. Microsoft Teams is a collaboration and organizational tool from Microsoft that allows you to dramatically improve your productivity as an individual as well as in the team environment. What you see on the screen is how brand new account looks when you create a new account on teams.microsoft.com. Microsoft Teams is available for the desktop, for the web, and for the mobile devices. Microsoft Teams user interface consists of 7 main areas. All of these areas are available on every platform: desktop, mobile, and the web. Your user profile information is available in the upper right corner. If you click on the icon, which could be replaced by your picture, you can set your status, you can manage settings, you can manage the org, download apps, and do a lot of other things. Microsoft Teams provides you with the very powerful search capabilities. In the search bar, you can look for messages, files, or use team commands to get quick access to specific functions of Microsoft Teams. You can switch between different functions of Microsoft Teams using tabs menu. There are 6 main tabs that exist in the default installation of Teams. You can switch between activity, chat, teams, meetings, calls, files, and you can also customize this section based on your needs. One of the most important areas is the Sections area. Sections area is located next to the tabs. In Sections area, you have access to different functions based on the tab that you selected. And you have access to the section functions at the top and at the bottom of the section. For example, I'm on the Teams tab. Teams tab has its own section here. On the top of the Teams section, you have filtering options. Because this is a brand new installation of Teams, I don't have any teams created yet. But at the bottom of this section, you can invite other people, or you can join or create a new team. Next to the Sections area, you have Stream and Feed area. This is the Stream and Feed area right here. And in this area, you see the results of the conversations, you see collaboration on particular items, and you see a lot of other things based on what is selected currently. We do not have anything in this section right now because this is a brand new installation, but we are about to change that. And last but not least is the Apps area, which is located in the bottom left corner. In the Apps section, you can add additional apps to Microsoft Teams, or you can download the desktop version of Microsoft Teams. There are multiple ways how you can create a new team. If you don't have any teams set up, you will see this Create New Team area right here. An alternative way to create a new team would be Join or Create Team in the bottom area of the screen. I'm going to click Join or Create Team right here and click Create Team, and I will choose Build a Team from Scratch because I'm working with Patricia on our YouTube video marketing project for our flagman product. I'm going to click Build New Team, and this is going to be a public team. On this screen, I can give team a name, and my name will be YouTube Marketing Video Creation for our flagman product. I'll use the same description for this team. And as a last step, I'll click Create. There will be 2 members in this team, Patricia and myself. Because I'm already in the system, I need to invite Patricia so she can join the team. I will be able to do it on the Add Team Members screen. You can invite anybody in the world who has email address. I'm going to type Patricia's email, and I'm going to click Add. On the next screen, I will define Patricia's role. She can be an owner of the team and member. I'm going to leave her as member, which is a default choice, and then click Close. We are very lucky because we have access to Patricia's email account. Patricia received an email, and via email, she can click Join Teams button. Before accepting the invitation, you have opportunity to review security settings. Patricia is okay with security settings, and she clicks Accept. After Patricia accepted, she now has access to the team within Microsoft Teams. One of the biggest challenges Microsoft Teams solves, it allows me to create contained environment to communicate with coworkers. We can manage projects together, we can manage resources like files, images, or anything else, or any other electronic documents. We can also manage activities together and invite other individuals and groups into our collaborative workspace. I have discussed with my boss John, and now our effort is formalized into project. John suggested to call this project Video for Flagman Product. And John suggested that there are at least 2 important parts in this project. The first part is to create the video, and then the second part is to market the video. Microsoft Teams provides you with exceptional capabilities to edit anything you would like to edit. I have initially created our team with the different name. Now I am going to come here and edit the name. To do that, I need to click on these 3 dots and click Edit Team. Here, I can just enter a different name based on what my manager suggested. Based on what John suggested, I'm also going to create 2 channels for my team. You use the same interface to create a channel. The first channel I'm going to create is Create Video. Because we're a manufacturing company and do not have any video creation capabilities, we need to identify the vendor and work with external vendor to create a new video. I'll choose standard privacy here, because at some point we may need to invite representatives from this vendor to help us manage this particular stream. One thing I'd like to point out here is that for every team you create, there is a general channel, which you cannot delete. Every team has a general channel, and the new channel I created shows up right under the general channel. My boss also suggested that we may need to market the video with the different company. We already have a relationship with existing marketing company, and we might want to use them to market that particular video and include the video on the website and use some other marketing mechanisms to promote it. Based on this information, I am going to go ahead and create another channel. I was about to click Add button, but I received a call from Patricia. Let's quickly switch to Patricia's view and what she can see. Patricia received a new channel information. She didn't know that I'm creating additional channels, so at first it showed up as a hidden channel for her. So she just asked me what is going on, and I had to explain her that I had discussion with John, and I explained her what I'm doing. While having her on the call, I also wanted to make sure that this new channel that I'm creating is not hidden for Patricia. So I decided to check this box, which will automatically show this channel to everyone's channel list. And after that, I'm clicking Add. Now, instead of being hidden channel on Patricia's list, it is open channel for Patricia. Patricia and I are working on the project to create video for our flagman product. We are the only 2 members in this project, and we've identified 2 work streams for which we created channels: Create Video and Market Video. We are a manufacturing company, and we do not have any video creation capabilities, as we're trying to focus on the things we do best, which is manufacture products. Based on recommendation from our boss John, we're using procurement strategy where we will hire a new vendor to create a new video for us. To do that, we will create request for proposal. John also suggested that we use existing relationship with our current marketing company to make updates to the website, upload this video onto YouTube channel, and publish it on the social media. Even though it was my initial idea to create this video for our flagman product, John decided to assign Patricia as a team lead. In the current organizational hierarchy, we're peers with Patricia because we both report to John. But Patricia worked for company for longer, and she has more experience working with external vendors, which is extremely important for this particular project. In fact, the strategy was identified and created by Patricia. She discussed it with John, and John agreed on the approach. And in fact, this strategy worked extremely well for us, as you will see. And I was excited at the end to see that Patricia became a member of the team. Patricia had decided that it's a good idea to capture our strategy in Microsoft Teams. Even though there are a lot of options, she decided that the best place for the strategy would be Wiki. When you're using Microsoft Teams and you click on the channel, by default you have access to 3 tabs: Posts, Files, and Wikis. Posts typically represent information exchange between team members. Files represents files that you're collaborating on. And Wikis represent something more or less permanent. Patricia had created a wiki page and called it Project Procurement Strategy. For video procurement strategy, she identified 4 steps: identify vendors, create request for proposal, RFP, submit request for proposals to all the vendors, and then review RFPs and select the vendor. Initially, Patricia wanted to capture marketing strategy here as well, but then she realized that we have a separate channel to market the video. So she went to Market Video, Wiki section, and here she created a marketing strategy. She developed 3-step marketing strategy. First of all, we will be using an existing marketing company to market the video. Then we will market the video on company's website, and this is where the company will help us post the link. We also ask them to help us upload this video to company's YouTube channel. And last but not least is that we'll market this video on the company's social media. Patricia finished developing the strategy toward the end of the day, and she was so excited that she decided to ask me for the feedback. She figured I wouldn't know where she put the strategy, so she decided to copy links to both strategies and share those links in the posts. Microsoft Teams allows you to get the link to any particular item inside the Teams. To do that, you click on the 3 dots and select Copy Link. To make it easy for me, Patricia captured both links in Notepad, and then she went into the General channel, posted something for me. Patricia wrote me a message and was about to paste the link right into the text. When she posted, she realized that she only included 1 link, so she had a choice now: either start a new conversation or reply to that particular topic that she just covered. She decided to reply because that made more sense. This is still part of the same conversation, she just wanted to include additional link. And this is exactly what she did. When I logged into Teams with my account, I see that there's something in General channel that I need to pay attention to. So I clicked on the General tab, and I see that my name is highlighted here. I read the message from Patricia and was very thankful that she included the links, because when I click on the link, it takes me directly to that place where information is located. I don't have much experience of procuring different vendors, but I recalled that one of our manufacturing projects is working on a government contract, and government contract requires us following special rules when we hire external vendors. So I decided to add a note and communicate this information to Patricia. Microsoft Teams provides excellent collaboration capabilities, so I decided to click on the Show section Conversation and type my notes. I tried to find Patricia by name in the system, but I couldn't. This is what I saw as a suggestion on Line Training User 2. It wasn't the top priority for me at the moment, so I decided to capture this as a screen print using keyboard shortcut Windows-Shift-S, so I can tell about this later to Patricia. I reread this sentence before sending it to Patricia. I might be totally wrong here, as my memory is bad lately. Let's make sure that we follow all guidelines on the government contract here, as if I remember correctly, they had special requirements on how to procure the vendors. Patricia and I both work remotely today. It would be easy to say something like this in the office, when I see her, face to face. But in remote setting it's much harder to communicate any emotions, especially if you have uncertainty of what actually it is. So I decided to use emoji features of Microsoft Teams to communicate my feelings. I went ahead and added smiley face after the first sentence. So this way Patricia probably wouldn't be offended if I'm wrong. Having emojis, animated GIFs, and stickers allows you to communicate your emotional state with your team members much better. And this is available in a lot of places in Microsoft Teams. I posted and went ahead to look at the second strategy that Patricia developed. Again, I was really thankful that she included the link here, because this allowed me to immediately get into the right place. I liked what she wrote. I was really impressed. And I decided to thank her for all the hard work that she did. I decided to communicate this in 2 posts. First one would be, "Looks good to me!" exclamation mark. Then I wrote the second statement, "Thanks for taking the lead and doing this work." second statement was kind of plain, so I decided to include the gift along with my statement. Microsoft Teams allows you to include stickers and animated gifts, so I decided to search among those to see what would supplement my message the best. When I typed "thank you" in animated gift search bar, I saw a lot of good messages, so I decided to use the first one. This is probably the best one. I also decided to check stickers. There was nothing available to thank somebody in the sticker section, so I decided to stick with what just found out in animated GIF section. I felt that Patricia did a lot of work, and this is the least I can do, so I decided to go ahead and send the message. I'm working on the project with Patricia together, and we're using Microsoft Teams. Because we are new and don't know much about the system, I have recently noticed that Patricia's profile shows up in the system as online training user. I captured the screen print of this and decided to share this information with Patricia. We've already exchanged some messages with Patricia before, so I decided to use the general channel and start a new conversation. This is what I wrote. Hi Patricia, hope all is well. Just noticed that your profile may not be updated in the system. This is how I see it. I just thought I would let you know. And I pasted the image of what I saw when I tried to search for Patricia. And then I clicked post. When Patricia saw this message, she was very surprised because she didn't know how her information shows up in the system. So she decided to thank me for sharing this information. And she used one of the features. When you hover over the post, you have access to some of the cool responses. So she decided to use this one, as that was something best represented her emotional state at the moment. She also decided to go ahead and change her profile. To do that, she clicked on the profile picture in the upper right corner and clicked Edit Profile. In addition to typing her name, she decided to upload the picture. Once she uploaded her picture, all she needed to do is to click Save button. The changes didn't show up immediately in the web version that she was using, so she decided to click Refresh. And she was happy she did, because now her picture showed up in the upper right corner. She decided to write me back and thank me for that. But before doing that, she decided to check how Vadim's profile shows up in the system. To do that, she typed @ and started typing Vadim. She realized that Vadim doesn't have his picture uploaded either. And she decided to add some humor into her message. She wrote, "Thank you for letting me know. Make sure you update your profile as well, so you're not lagging behind as a team member." And she thought that the most appropriate end for this would be a smiley face. Instead of including emoji, she decided to just type the shortcut for smiley face, which is column and then closing parenthesis. And once she did, it was automatically replaced by Microsoft Teams into the smiley face. We are working on the project together and using Microsoft Teams. Patricia is a team lead on the project, and Vadim is the team member. Both Patricia and Vadim report to John. We've identified two main work streams for the project. First one is to create the video, and second one is to market the video. Our strategy is to find a new vendor to create a video and use an existing vendor to market the video. To be compliant with laws and regulations, we are required to create request for proposal, reach out to the vendors, evaluate request for proposal, and then select the vendor. It is a very formal process, and in the end, we would need to be able to explain the results to whoever might be asking questions. Because both team members work remote, we decided to use collaborating features of Microsoft Teams to develop request for proposal together. To do that, Patricia navigated to Create Video Channel, clicked on Files, and clicked on Start New Document. Because request for proposal is the Word document, she chose Word document. And she named it Request for Proposal DOCX. Microsoft Teams provides phenomenal file collaboration capabilities. It has built-in versions of Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and Microsoft PowerPoint Online right inside Microsoft Teams. And it has various different ways allowing you to collaborate. You can use comments, you can use conversations, and you can also use version control. On top of that, it auto-saves the information, so you don't have to be worried about losing anything when you're using Microsoft Teams. In fact, when Patricia was developing this slide, she realized that she missed version control. But then she realized that this is an existing, powerful feature of Microsoft Office, which is also available in Microsoft Teams. Patricia had decided to start with the company's template for request for proposal. In addition to setting up template, Patricia started populating it, and she included some of the information that was obvious for this particular request for proposal. She just typed it in, and Microsoft Teams saved this Word online document without asking the user. She also decided to turn on tracking To do that, she navigated to Review tab in Microsoft Word, selected Track Changes, and selected for everyone. After doing all of this, she decided to share the initial draft version with Vadim. The best way to share would be to select the document, click Copy Link, and then navigate to the General section where you have Main Conversation, and target somebody by starting the new conversation. Once she's done typing the message, she can just use Ctrl-V to paste the link. Because Patricia targeted Vadim in her conversation request, when Vadim logged in into his system, he saw that there are two messages in the General channel. Vadim didn't know where the file was. All he needed to do is just click on the link. There are two main ways how you can collaborate on a document in Microsoft Teams. If you're putting your feedback inside the document, you have an option of using version control or using comments. If you are collaborating on the outside of the document, you can put your feedback on the channel messages inside Microsoft Teams. It is always a good option to discuss with your team members what is the preferred option and which option they would like to use, especially if you have a large number of people on the team. This would allow you to organize the feedback, centralize it, and review it effectively. Vadim read the document and he decided that he can add more content based on what he knew about the project. Before adding the content though, he decided to format the document a little bit by including the bullets into some of the sections. After looking at the bullets though, he decided to change them into just regular numbers, because what if vendor will decide to reference particular requirement? It would be so much easier to do if each requirement will have its unique number. And he was really glad that this was Microsoft Word where they were doing the editing with Patricia, because Microsoft Word provides all of these capabilities. He even added the numbering in the sections where there was only one item, as his thought process was that maybe as they worked together with Patricia, there would be more than just one item there. In addition to what Patricia had, Vadim also added a couple items in the evaluation metrics and submission requirements. For evaluation metrics, Vadim added that video should describe key benefits of the product. And the second one he added, video should focus on the product and show as much of the product in the scenes as possible. He thought that this was something important for vendor to realize, as some of the commercials and videos created by the vendor focus on the actors instead of focusing on the product itself. He also added that the video should be in the 4K format. We can always downsize the format, but we cannot upsize it without losing the quality. Vadim was so happy that Patricia turned on track changes in the document, because he can see what she wrote and he can clearly see the changes that he made. He was very impressed that you can hover on top of the text that was written and you will see the date and timestamp and who made the change. He also recalled that the legal team was always requiring marketing team to include some specific statements for every video that company makes. But instead of writing it inside the document, he decided to use comments feature of Microsoft Word Online to communicate this to Patricia. To do that, he clicked on the comments button. He wrote, "Do we need to include legal requirements as we did in our previous videos? Should we specify the text for the vendor so they include it as text inside the video or as a voice at the end of the video?" And then he posted the comment. He was very happy with the results and he decided to communicate back to Patricia that he's done with his review. To do that, he navigated back and he decided to write back to Patricia in the general channel. He wrote, "I had a chance to look. Great start, but I think we may need to engage our legal team. Let me know your thoughts." And then he sent the message. When Patricia received this note, she decided to look at the changes Vadim made. She clicked on the link that she herself posted, and she can clearly see all the changes that he made, because the track changes control was on. She also saw the comment that Vadim added, and she thought that this comment made sense, so she wrote back to Vadim. She wrote, "Great catch. Let's have a meeting with them soon to review the document." And she posted this comment right in the Word Online. As a next step, Patricia decided to review the changes Vadim had made. She decided to review changes one by one and accept or reject them as needed. The first change she was very happy with, so she right-clicked on the change and selected Accept Insertion. This made this change permanent. She was also very happy with all the numbers that Vadim added, so she decided to accept those changes as well. And finally, she was also very happy with his catch about 4K format. This is the new format, and creating video in the new format will help it last for longer in the social media as well as in other marketing channels where it could be used. So she decided to accept this change as well.
Let me give you a couple reasons why you might consider subscribing to online training for everyone.
State-of-the-art skills, tips, tricks, and techniques we share with you here on Online Training for Everyone will help you today and in the future. We use scientifically proven methodology to create videos that will help you learn faster and retain more materials. When you click the subscribe button now, you will become connected and will be the first one to receive automatic notifications when new video is released. There are multiple ways to access Microsoft To Do. One of the ways is to log in into Office.com platform and click on the To Do application. Since To Do is one of the products that was acquired by Microsoft from Wunderlist, you can either import the list of tasks from Wunderlist by clicking Start button here, or you can start working on To Do. The interface of To Do is a little bit different than interface of other Office.com product, but it's probably going to change over time as Microsoft will adapt this product to Office.com suite. The biggest problem Microsoft To Do solves is how to be more intentional with your time and priorities. It allows you to create to-do lists for almost anything, for your business, for your home project, or just a list of groceries. In addition to simple to-do lists, it allows you to set daily priorities, plan your time, evaluate your time wasters, get reminders, and this is a technology adapted for you as To Do works on multiple different platforms. You can access it from the web interface, it's available on any smartphone, and you can download different apps for Android, for Windows, or for iOS by navigating to todo.microsoft.com. In fact, using this URL is an alternative way of accessing Microsoft To Do application. Let's suppose that we're working with my team on creating YouTube marketing video for our flagman product. We had a quick meeting and we captured the list of tasks required. Now, I would like to add these tasks into To Do. To do that, I take notes from the meeting which I captured in Notepad, and I'm just gonna copy and paste one task. To create a new task in To Do, I'm just gonna click on Add New Task and just type the name. And type the text of the task, which is Record Screencast Video. This is the first task needed on our project. Each task has properties, and you can access those properties by using right mouse click. Now I've added all of my tasks, but as you can see, they're in the wrong order. In fact, they're in the opposite order. What I can do now, I can drag and drop each task and rearrange them. There are three most important concepts in Microsoft To Do: concept of tasks, lists, and My Day. Task is the specific unit of work that needs to be done. For example, task might be pay the bill, call support center, anything to that matter that requires your attention. List is a way of grouping and organizing the tasks. And My Day is just one of the lists, but very important list because it summarizes everything that you need to complete today. Because all these tasks that I'm working on represent the project, I would like to group them into the list. To do that, all I need to do is just type the name of the list here and hit enter. So now I created a new list. All of my tasks are located under tasks. I wish if I knew before I started, I could have created the list first and then entered all these tasks. But there are alternatives. I can either drag and drop all of my tasks into this list one by one, or the better way to do it, select all the tasks. I'm holding the Shift button and using the selection key on the keyboard. And then once I selected all of them, I do right mouse click, select Move Tasks To, and I can move them into the newly created list. This organizational structure is where power of To Do really shines. Now we can work on each individual task. We can add additional steps to the task. We can add task to My Day if I'd like to complete it today. I can set some reminders, set due dates, set repetition, pick a category for the task, attach files, and add additional notes. To do that, I select the task and have access to all these additional features in the upper right corner of the application. We did create the list for YouTube video project. What are the other smart ways of organizing the data? And what are the other types of lists that you can create? For example, you can create a grocery list, and this list would indicate what you need to do when you do shopping. You can add the tasks for today. This is an extremely important category because this defines what you're planning to do today. You can also add regular maintenance tasks, something that you do weekly, monthly, or annually. And To Do will remind you that you need to complete some of these tasks. This is one of the coolest features. Because you can download and install smartphone app, you will get reminders right on your smartphone, Android or iPhone. Another smart way of grouping might be adding tasks for the projects that you're working on the enterprise. You can also manage your financials and add reminders if you need to pay bills or review your statements or review invoices or do whatever tasks needed. You can also maintain a list for the spouse. What are the other types of lists that you would suggest can be added? Can you please share in the comment section of this video? For example, I might have 10 tasks added into 4 of my lists. Now I'm planning my day. How can I plan it? I go through my lists and I decide what would I like to do today. For example, I'm working on this project and I would like to do this task, the first task on the project today. To select it for today, I right mouse click on the task and click Add it to my day. And you see now it is in my day. I continue going through my list in the beginning of the day and I see that yesterday I added 2 tasks where my spouse asked for the reminder, register kids for camp and follow up with the classroom teacher. So what I can do, I can also add them to my day today, both of them, and this will allow me to remind my spouse that this is something we wanted to get accomplished. I have a task to follow up on the latest cell phone bill, and I am planning to call the provider today, so that's another task I'm going to add to my list. So now take a look at what happened. I still have 10 tasks across my lists, but now I have 4 tasks in my day. This helps me organize myself and set goals for today because I'm planning to complete all these 4 tasks today. There are 3 important steps in planning and organizing of your day. You plan in the beginning of the day and you decide which tasks would you like to complete. You review the tasks and take actions during the day, and then you reflect at the end of the day. For example, at the end of the day, I may take a look at my day's list and I realize that my spouse completed all the tasks and I can mark them as complete. But I only completed 1 task. I only followed up with the vendor. I wasn't able to make much progress on my marketing video. So what I can do, I can move this task back and remove it from my day. This way, when I plan tomorrow, I can decide if this is something I would like to still complete tomorrow or maybe postpone it until the next day. It has been a couple weeks since I started working on this YouTube marketing project and I didn't make any progress. I wasn't able to complete a single task. My boss suggested to delegate it to somebody else so we can start making progress. Let's look at the different delegation considerations and how to-do can help there. To be successful at delegating, you need to decide who can do the work. This person or group of people need to have the right skills and knowledge to do the work. And you, as an initiator of delegation, need to be able to track that they actually doing the work right and the results are acceptable. Even though to-do doesn't help you identify resources and doesn't help you to validate their skills, it does an exceptional job helping you with tracking of the tasks. I discussed with my boss and we made a decision that we can delegate this work to Patricia. She has all the knowledge needed and can do this work exceptionally well. To do that, I'm going to select the list where I have all the tasks and click Share button. I am going to create invitation link for Patricia and invite her via email. I can also limit to what Patricia can see and access using this Manage Access button. Now I'm in Patricia's account and I clicked on the link and I'm joining the list. Once I successfully joined the list, I can click the Open button. As you can see, Patricia can only see one list that I shared with her and not all of my lists, which provides some security for our ongoing collaboration. Patricia now can do the work and we can exchange information. She can add files required and she can take notes, and I will see all of this information when I log in into my To-Do. If you're using Microsoft's products in your enterprise, To-Do can help you with joint planning, delegation of work, monitoring of work, transparency and tracking. Multiple people can work together on the same project to get the work done faster. The most typical and recommended uses of Microsoft's To-Do application is to track lists, manage simple projects, organize reminders to make sure you remind yourself and don't forget to do anything, agile project execution, where you can plan and do work through delegation, tracking the results, and daily quick accessing of To-Do application through Microsoft's Office integration. In fact, if you are in Outlook and need to quickly see what are the tasks that you'd like to complete today, you can do it almost instantly by clicking the button here and navigating to your To-Do list. You can also access To-Do in the upper right corner of Outlook's screen by clicking into My Day. Here you can add new tasks and you can manage your calendar as well as plan your day, manage your day, and complete your day to make sure you've accomplished everything you plan to accomplish. But companies typically have much bigger problems to solve. Typically, you have multiple sources of inputs for your tasks. You get some information using the regular mail, which you need to take into account. You receive some requests via email. You get some tasks and action items based on your own planning. You do some research that requires some work. And you have some ideas of what you would like to execute in the future. With so many different tasks competing for your attention, how can you avoid burnout and get things done? One of the ways we found useful is the combination of technology and using proven methodology. We developed our own methodology and we call it magic of getting results fast. And this is in fact what I'm showing to you on the screen right now. It accounts for multiple different inputs for tasks and in combination with Microsoft's To-Do will allow you to get things done fast. This methodology helps you solve multiple challenges. It accounts for multiple inputs for tasks, helps you to prioritize and decide what to do right away and what should be done as a project. It also allows you to plan short and long term. Using combination of Microsoft To-Do and proven methodology will help you get things done and organize your work extremely fast and efficient.
Please make sure to check out available downloads in the description section of this video.
To access OneDrive, you navigate to OneDrive.com and either log in with your existing credentials or sign up for free to create a new account. Once you're logged in, you can see all the files available to you, and as you can see, I'm using OneDrive pretty extensively. Like in many other Microsoft applications online, you have access to the menu on the left, and you can navigate through the menu to see what's available to you. In OneDrive, you also have some navigational options available to you in the upper right corner. For example, you can present documents by size, you can sort them by size, or you can rearrange them, or you can choose a different view. For example, sometimes I like the list view where you can see date, you can see the status, sharing status of the document, and you can see the size of the file. I'm going to switch back to the original tiles view to see all available documents and their preview. So what is OneDrive? OneDrive is first of all an online storage tool. You get up to 5 gigabytes of storage for free. It is also a document collaboration tool. You can share the document with other people and work on the same document together. It is also a backup tool. It allows you to back up your documents into the cloud, so you have more than one copy available to you in case something happens to your desktop or laptop. OneDrive can also be used as free Microsoft Office tool. You can create, edit, or delete, or do anything you would like with Microsoft Office documents. You can create or edit Microsoft Office files without paying a license fee. OneDrive is also a productivity tool. It allows you to organize your files for easy access and search. And also, you're able to access the files from anywhere, including laptops, desktops, or mobile devices. To create new folder in OneDrive, you click on the New button and then select New Folder. Then you type in the name and click Create. And you see that the new folder shows up right here on the front page. Now, if you're not happy with the name, you can right-click on the folder and select Rename. And you see my renamed folder is right here. It is called My Student Files. If you go inside this folder, it is obviously blank and empty. There's nothing in here. But what you can do now, you have a lot of new options here. You can create new subfolder. You can upload new documents. You can share this folder, move it to copy, rename, or create album from the folder, or embed it into the website. So what is the smart way to organize the data on your drive? One of the best ways, if you're a student, for example, is organized in a hierarchical structure. For example, what you see here is 4 tiers of the hierarchical structure: college, semester, courses, and lectures. For example, you might be taking classes at the technical college. You have 2 semesters, fall of 2020 and then spring of 2020. And then you have 2 courses in the fall of 2020, Introduction to Computing and Windows 10. And then for Introduction to Computing, you will have 2 lectures, one on September 2nd, and another lecture is on September 9th. In the spring of 2021, you only have 1 class, which is called Soft Skills, and you didn't have any lectures for this class yet, but you can already pre-build the structure for this class. How would you organize this data in OneDrive? First step is to create a top folder, which we will call Technical College. Now let me build the rest of the hierarchy, and you can see me doing it or skip to the next part. Because names of the lectures are very similar, I can just copy the name of the lecture. When I click Create, and when I create a new folder, I can just paste it and change only the lecture ID. So this would be Lecture 2. As you can see, when I'm building my structure, it is represented here as a hierarchy. It starts with My Files, then goes to Technical College, then goes to Fall 2020, and I'm currently in Introduction to Computing section, where I have 2 lectures. To navigate within this hierarchy, we just need to click on the particular folder, and it takes us back. To go inside the hierarchy, we just click on the folder itself, and it takes us inside. Now I build the structure. Let's see how we can use it to take advantage of all the features of OneDrive. Once you have the structure in place, you can navigate to the lecture for September 2nd and create a new file here. We will create a new Word document here and take notes from the lecture. To do that, you just click on the New and Word document. Once you click on the Word document, it takes you to the Word Online and starts a brand new Word document. As you can see, we can also create Excel, PowerPoint, OneNotes, Forms, survey, or just a plain text document. And the coolest part of it is that it's all going to be created right in the cloud, which means that it will be accessible from any one of your devices. Now let's say you didn't have internet connection in your classroom, so you took notes during the lecture in the offline mode and saved the file right on your desktop. What you can do now, you can click Upload button, you will find that file that you created, and you will upload it into OneDrive. The coolest part of this is that you can upload not just single files, but also the entire folder. So you will be able to bring in and replicate the structure right from your desktop. So what are the cool features of OneDrive you might benefit from? The biggest one, I think, is creation or editing of Microsoft Office documents for free. You don't need any additional license to start working on Microsoft Office documents in OneDrive. Another big one is accessing files on mobile devices. You don't just access files on your desktop, Mac or Windows. You can also download apps on your iPhone or Android device and access your files there. You also get free storage up to 5 gigabytes, and when you think about this, this is a lot of space. You can put a lot of Word documents, a lot of pictures into that free space, so you are ready to start using it for free at no additional cost to you. Because you can work on the Microsoft Office documents, you can also share and collaborate Microsoft Office files with others. If you're working on a student project with a group of people, you can create a document on OneDrive, share the link with people, and work together on the project. Let's look at how you can share the document and work together on the same document in OneDrive. To do that, let's click on the New button and create New Word document. So I created a new file and I picked the topic for my project, How to Protect Animals on the Planet. Now I just need to give this document a name. And as a next step, I can just click Share and send this document via email to another person. You get a confirmation that your email was sent, and you can now work together on the same document. One of the coolest features of working together on OneDrive document is that you can see changes made by another person real time. For example, let's assume that I type my first paragraph on my paper, but now another person will be making the changes as well. So you see the changes that they've made, and you can see that who made the changes. The changes made are almost instantaneous. In this way, you don't even need sophisticated technology to work together. For example, you can talk on the phone and make changes to the document at the same time, and you will see changes real time.
If you like the content, please give this video a big thumbs up. This tells us that you need more content like this, and we'll make sure that you get it in the future.
Let's first look at the main concepts inside OneNote. We have 4 major concepts: notebook, section, page, and subpage. They are organized in hierarchical structure. There might be multiple sections inside one notebook, and multiple pages inside one section, and multiple subpages inside the page. So when we created new personal notebook in OneNote, it created multiple sections, predefined sections for us: quick notes, shopping list, recipes, and to-do lists. And inside to-do list, there are multiple pages: today and next week. In recipes, there are multiple recipes: recipe 1 or recipe 2. In shopping lists, there are multiple pages: grocery list, birthday gift ideas. And in quick notes, there is nothing, but we can add and create new page here. You can create new page by just clicking the Add Page button and then putting a name of the page here. For example, I added 2 quick notes here: follow up with school and COVID reopening, or notes from my discussion with contractor. And I can put actual notes right here in this section of OneNote. Because OneNote provides so much flexibility in how you can organize your data, you would have to decide how would you like to build a hierarchy. Couple key considerations. Notebook is a file which is stored on your OneDrive. If I navigate from OneNote to OneDrive and then click on the documents, I can see my file right here in the list of OneDrive. I would recommend you have 3 main considerations when deciding how to organize your data: security, future growth, and search. Let's talk about each one in more details. If you're planning to collaborate with other people on your notes, it might be a good idea to create a separate notebook for each category. This way you can share it with them, and you don't need to worry about them seeing other irrelevant information or something maybe you don't want them to see. For example, if you're working on a home improvement project and would like to share your notes with the contractor, you might consider creating a separate notebook for home improvement projects. Second important consideration is future growth. Would you be able to add necessary categories to your OneNote notebook? For example, if you created notebook home improvements, you can have sections kitchen remodeling and hardwood floor replacement. But would you be able to add your student lecture notes, your to-do lists, or your non-home improvement projects into notebook? This is something to consider when organizing the data. And last but not least is the search. Would you be overwhelmed by the search results if you search everything in your notebook? OneNote provides exceptional search capabilities, but you might be overwhelmed with the search results and may not be able to find what you're looking for if you don't organize your data correctly. Let's look at some ideas of how you can consider organizing the data. This is the structure of the home improvement notebook in OneNote. You see that notebook is named Home Improvements. It has 2 sections, kitchen remodeling and hardwood floor installation. Kitchen remodeling has 2 pages, Design and Research, and Identify Contractors and Get Estimates. In Design and Research, we have 2 subpages, Countertop Ideas and Cabinet Ideas. Once you design the structure, it is very easy to implement in OneNote. As you can see, I created 2 sections. One is kitchen remodeling, another one is hardwood floor installation. Kitchen remodeling section has 4 pages. 2 of them are subpages. For example, in Design and Research, there are 2 subpages, Countertop Ideas and Cabinet Ideas. And second page is Identify Contractors to Get Estimates. Hardwood floor installation section has only 1 page, Floor Selection. Once you build the hierarchy that will work, you can start populating it with data. And you can add pictures in OneNote either by uploading them from file or by just copying and pasting them right into the application. Once you have pictures in place, you can do typical operations that you do with the images that will help you organize the notes. You can grow, shrink, crop, and do a lot of other things as needed. You can also enhance pictures with notes. For example, this might be an estimate from Johnson Contractors and include the pricing information. This way you can search by any one of these keywords and you will be able to find this data. If you are a student, this is how you might consider organizing your data. For example, if you study at University of Wisconsin, you might have a notebook related to University of Wisconsin. Your 2 sections might be Fall of 2020 and Spring of 2021. And in Fall of 2020, you might be taking 2 classes, Introduction to Computing and Windows 10. And you organize your subpages as lectures from each class. Having the correct organizational structure will allow you to navigate through OneNote quickly and find what you're looking for very easily. When we were just starting our mission, we wanted to pick the name that would best describe our values. And this is the main reason why we picked howtoanalyzedata.net, because the core of our mission is covering questions how and why in every video that we make. Make sure you consider this when you're making your own decision whether to subscribe to the channel or not. Because online training for everyone is one of the few channels that provides you with the real answers.
Excel for the web interface is very similar to traditional desktop interface, and you have a lot of options to customize it for your needs.
There are multiple ways how you can create new Excel Online document. The easiest way is to click on the Start New and then select Spreadsheet. Another way to do it would be click on Excel application, and this will launch new instance of Excel and you'll be able to create the new worksheet. Here you can select different templates. You can click More Templates to see a lot of available choices. Templates allow you to start with pre-built design and functionality instead of building it from scratch in Office Online. For example, you can use template for simple invoice, Gantt project chart, make a list, schedule, personal inventory, family budget, and there are a lot of other options. If you click Explore All Templates, it will show you all available options. But I'm going to go back and continue with the blank workbook. I'm going to click Back button in my browser and go back to the Start screen and use the first method. I'm going to click Start New, and we'll create a new spreadsheet. As you can see, Excel Online looks very similar to traditional Excel application on the desktop. By default, it launches with simplified ribbon. To switch to traditional ribbon, you just need to click this toggle, and it switches to traditional ribbon. I am going to continue with traditional ribbon because that's the ribbon I used to, but we will cover also a simplified ribbon as well, just so you will have an idea of what type of commands you can expect from simplified ribbon. Excel Online consists of multiple tabs. For example, most of the commands are located on the Home tab, and this is where you will spend probably 80% of your time. But there are a lot of other tabs like Insert, Formulas, Data, and you can switch between the tabs by clicking on the tab bar. Each icon in the ribbon represents specific command in Excel Online. And these commands are grouped into groups. So for example, there is a font group, alignment group, number group, tables, cells, and editing. In the bottom right corner, you see zooming functions. If you click plus button, you can zoom in. If you click minus button, then you will zoom out. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see cells a little bit closer before we start typing. But last thing before we start typing, I wanted to show you in the bottom left corner, you can check the workbook statistics. If you click on the workbook statistics, you see information about the current worksheet. Let's look at some fundamental Excel Online concepts. You have concept of columns. We have columns A, B, C, D, and you can select them by clicking on the header, and it goes until the end of English alphabet, and then it starts AA, AB, and it goes into infinity. Then you have concept of rows, and rows represented by numbers. And on the intersection of each column and row, you have a cell. And the cell ID is located right here in the name box. So for example, this is cell B4 because it's located on the intersection of column B and row 4. We also have a concept of range, and range is a group of cells. For example, we can select some cells, and the range would be from the starting cell in the upper left corner into the lower right corner cell. So in this particular case, the range identification would be B2 through C7. That would be our range. We also have a concept of workbook and worksheets. Workbook is Excel Online document. So book that is named right now is the name of the workbook. And we can rename it by clicking here and typing. I typed Excel Online tutorial. There's no need to click Save button because Office Online and any application in Office.com and Office Online saves data automatically onto OneDrive. So at every point of time, at any moment of time, your data is saved and protected. Now, we covered the concept of workbook. There's a concept of worksheet, and there are multiple worksheets in one workbook. By default, only one worksheet is created, which is called Sheet 1. You can click on it and rename it, or you can add more worksheets. If you click the plus button here in the bottom left corner, it keeps adding more and more worksheets. I'm going to go back to worksheet 1 so we can start data entry. To start entering the data in Excel Online, you can just select the cell and start typing. For example, I would like to create a table and enter business expenses. I just need to start typing, and I'll type expenses. To navigate between the columns, you can press Tab, and it will take you from column A to column B, and you can start typing. For example, I'll type January. If you would like to go back, you just need to press Shift-Tab. You can always use the mouse to put the cursor into the correct cell, but using the keyboard is much faster, and if you learn how to use keyboard, you will be much more productive in Excel Online. So we covered how to go from column to column, and this is by using Tab and Shift-Tab. In order for us to go to a different row, you just hit Enter, and then it took us to the cell A2, and this is where I'm going to enter the type of expenses. In my case, I'm going to have lease is one of the expenses. I'm going to hit Enter again, and I'm going to type utilities. And as you might have figured out by now, if I'd like to go down, I would need to type Enter. But if I would like to go up, I would just need to hit Shift Enter. I have manually typed in all my data, and this is how it looks. We have rows representing the types of expenses, and we have office supplies, lease, utilities, phone, computer, and internet. And then I have months from January to June, and each month, on the intersection of months and expenses, we have a number which represents expenses for that particular month. Let's zoom in the data using zoom functions that we covered, so we can see it up close and we can see it full screen, and then we'll focus on the formatting of the table. There are multiple different things you can do to make this data look professional. For example, you can select the range of the data, and you can add borders to the data. The most typical borders would be all borders, which will have borders for the data on all sides of the cell. You might also notice that the month and the dollar amounts are misaligned. Months data is aligned to the left versus dollar data is aligned to the right. To change this, you need to select all these columns from B through G, and then what you can do, you can change the alignment for all the selected data. For example, this is how centered alignment will look like. If you want to try alignment on the left, I don't think it looks professional. So I think centered alignment would be the best for this type of data. You might also consider highlighting the first row, which is the header row. To do that, we need to select the range between cells A1 and G1, and then we can add a background color, for example, some light color, which would look nice on the black and white printout, and you can also make the font here bold. Since Excel Online is designed as a tool for data analysis, you can quickly sort and filter the data. To do that, you need to select the first row, and then click Sort and Filter, and click Filter. You see what happened? Excel just added the drop-downs, and now you have a lot of sorting and filtering options. For example, if you would like to organize expenses and make expense types in alphabetical orders, all you need to do is to select the drop-down box here and select Sort Ascending. And you see that it organized the expenses and put the types of expenses in alphabetical order, from letter C to letter U. A lot of times you might consider showing the totals when you're looking at the data. For example, you would like to know how much money was spent in expenses in the month of January. To do that, you need to put a cursor into the cell B8, and then there is an AutoSum formula that you can use. You just click on the AutoSum, and Excel auto-guesses or provides auto-suggestion, and it automatically inserts the formula, which is the sum of all the values in the range B2 through B7. And you see this is how Excel represents the ranges. To refresh your memory, the range is the set of values which starts with the top cell, which in our case is B2, and goes from B2 to the cell B7. If you hit Enter, it shows you the total for the month of January, which represents an amount of $2,180.08. Now you can do the same thing for each and every month. For example, for months of February, you can navigate to the cell C8 and repeat the steps of what I just did previously through AutoSum. Or you can replicate the formula for all the columns which represent the months. To do that, you just need to find this box at the bottom right corner of the cell B8, and then you just need to drag it, and Excel replicated the formula and recalculated the values for the months from January through June. All you need to do now is just to type total here in this column, and you probably might want to choose the right alignment here so it is more aligned to the total numbers. In a similar way to calculating totals for the columns, you can also calculate totals for the rows. For example, you might want to know how much of the computer expenses company had between the months of January and June. To recalculate this, you need to put the cursor into the cell H2. Let's enter formula differently. We will just type it manually. To do that, we need to type the equal sign, and then we can type the sum formula, and you see what Excel Online does automatically. It shows you all available formulas that match the criteria of sum, but as soon as I enter the parentheses to start typing values, I can either drag the cursor here, which will enter the range here, and our range will be from B2 through G2, and I just need to close the parentheses and hit enter, and Excel will calculate the value. If you see pound signs in a cell, it doesn't represent the error, it just means that the value is too big for Excel to show. To fix it, you can either manually expand the column, or you can just double click on this area in between two columns. In my case, it's between columns H and I. And Excel will automatically adjust the width of the column. I showed you a way to replicate the formula through this extension box. Another way to replicate the formula would be through the use of copy and paste functions. To do that, you just need to use Control-C on the keyboard. I just typed Control-C. Another way to do it would be click Copy right here in the ribbon. And then you can just select a new range, and then you can just click Paste here on the ribbon, and Excel will recalculate, because it inserted this formula, and it will recalculate all the values for different expense categories in column H. The only other thing we would need to add is the title for this column. So we can just type total, and similar to the way how we formatted other columns, we can format column H. We just need to select the column and click Center Formatting. To print Excel Online document, you need to click File and then Print. And when you click Print button, it allows you to select from multiple different options. You can print active sheet, you can print entire workbook, or you can just print the current selection. And you can choose from different page orientation options for portrait and landscape. I'm going to choose active sheet. I'm going to choose landscape option, and I'm going to click Continue. And what Excel will let me do, it will let me print right from the browser, and I can print into the PDF file. And once data is printed, I'll be able to use it in my PDF file.
Let me give you a couple reasons why you might consider subscribing to online training for everyone.
State-of-the-art skills, tips, tricks, and techniques we share with you here on Online Training for Everyone will help you today and in the future. We use scientifically proven methodology to create videos that will help you learn faster and retain more materials. When you click the subscribe button now, you will become connected and will be the first one to receive automatic notifications when new video is released. There are 4 different ways for you to start working on the Word document. You can use one of the recently created documents. You can click Start New and select Word document. You can click on the Word application and it will launch brand new document. You just need to select New Blank Document. Or you can upload and open one of the existing documents from your desktop. For example, I have series of documents on the OneDrive for my practice labs, and I can upload and bring it up right into Word Online. I'm going to navigate back on the Start page and start New Word Online document. By default, Word Online comes with the Simplified ribbon. You can expand Simplified ribbon, and you will see familiar ribbon that you're used to using traditional desktop-based Microsoft Word. Let's do a quick overview of Microsoft Word user interface. Right now, we are in the Home tab, but we can navigate to File tab, or we can navigate to the Insert tab, Layout, References, Review, View, and Help tabs. Most of the important commands located in the Home tab, and 80% of the time you will spend working on the Home tab. Icons on the tab are organized into groups. For example, you have a clipboard group that have cut, copy, and paste commands, as well as the Format Painter command. You have Font group, you have a Paragraph group, you have Styles group, Editing, Dictation, and Editor. Each tab on the ribbon has its own set of groups. Just like in the regular Word document, you can just go ahead and start typing your text. Once you have entered your text, you can change the formatting of the text. For example, you can apply different styles, like Heading 1 style. To do that, you just need to select the section for which you're trying to apply the style and click on the Style button. You can also change font. You can change font appearance, for example, make it bold, italic, or underlined, or combination of bold, italic, and underlined. And you can access any command for the selected text on the ribbon itself, or by doing right mouse click, and you have access to commands that might be applicable to your selection. You have full access to clipboard commands. For example, you can select the text, click Copy, and then paste the same text in a different area of the document. To make Cut, Copy, and Paste work from the ribbon, you need to install Office Copy and Paste extensions. I'm going to choose Install. And once installation is complete, I can just click the Paste button and it will work in a similar way. Access to keyboard shortcuts Ctrl-X, Ctrl-C, and Ctrl-V is available without doing any additional installations. To access to the header of the document, you need to navigate to upper right corner of the page and click on the header. In the header, you can type the date and the name of your document. To finish working on the header, you need to click on any area outside of the header. To access the footer, you need to click at the bottom right corner of the document. In the footer, you typically might want to insert the page number, the date, or any other information that you need. To insert page number, you need to navigate to Insert tab and select Page Number and select the location for the page number. And it will insert the number of the page right in the area where you want it. To stop working on the footer of the document, you need to click on any area outside of the footer. To insert the table, you need to navigate to Insert tab, select Insert Table, and select the area for the table that you're trying to insert. Then you need to navigate to the specific cell and just start typing. Once you have inserted all the values into the table and selected the table, you see that there are two new ribbon tabs that showed up, Table Design and Table Layout. These are table-specific functions that are only available when you have tables selected. For example, in Table Design, you can select different styles for your table. And you can switch between the styles without affecting the content of the table itself. In Table Layout tab, you have Select functions, Table Delete functions, Table Insert, Merge, and Align functions. You can also insert images in Microsoft Word Online. To insert the image, you need to put the cursor where you would like image to be inserted, click on the Insert tab, and if you click Picture, it will let you download picture from your computer, or if you click Online Pictures, you'll be able to search and find picture on the search engine. For example, we can picture of the airplane and insert it right into the Word Online document. When picture is inserted and selected, you have access to Picture ribbon. On the Picture ribbon, you can enter all text, you can pick different picture styles, you can rotate the image, crop it, and change image size as necessary. As we added more information into the document, you see that the document became a two-page document, and some information shifted on the page 2. You can control when page 2 starts by inserting a page break. To insert a page break, you need to navigate to Insert tab and select Page Break. And that inserts page break, and this is where the second page starts. By using page break, you have full control of where one page ends and another page starts. To give document a name, you need to click on the document title in the upper part of the screen. By default, Word Online saves all of your documents onto OneDrive. You do not need to specifically click the Save button or Save menu item to save your document. All changes are saved automatically. But you can save document as by choosing Save As option and choosing different formats and different options available. To print your document, you need to click File and then Print, and it will bring up the Print dialog box from your browser. From here, you have different options of how you would like to print your document. You can print it into PDF, or you can choose one of the available printers to print it. You can also share your document with other people or embed this document into your blog post or website. And if you choose Save As option, you can download a copy of the document right onto your desktop and continue editing on the desktop version of Microsoft Word.
If you like the content, please give this video a big thumbs up. This tells us that you need more content like this, and we'll make sure that you get it in the future.
You have multiple ways to launch PowerPoint Online application. You can click on the Start New and select Presentation, or you can just click on the PowerPoint application in the Start menu of Office.com. When you go through the application, you see a lot of templates available to you. Most of them are available for free, but there are some premium ones that Microsoft offers you. If you're not satisfied with the list presented on the screen, you can click More Themes and you will have a lot of additional choices. I'm going to go back and select New Blank Presentation. Let's start by looking at PowerPoint User Interface. By default, you get Simplified ribbon. You can switch to the Classic ribbon by using this radio button. Classic ribbon closer mimics the traditional desktop-based PowerPoint application. But simplified ribbon takes less space, so you would have to choose for yourself which one would you like more. The way data is organized in PowerPoint is that you have multiple tabs on the ribbon, and you can switch between the tabs by just single mouse click. Most of the commands that you need located on the Home tab. Just like in traditional PowerPoint, in the bottom right corner, there is a handful of very useful controls. You can add notes to your slide, you can switch between editing mode and presenter view, or you can change zoom on your slides. Let's look at some main PowerPoint online concepts. You have a concept of slide, and this is what you see right here in this rectangle. We also have a concept of thumbnail, which is just a smaller version of the slide. You can add a new slide right here in the Home ribbon by clicking the New Slide button, and you're presented with multiple different choices. There's a title slide, title and content section header, to content comparison title only, blank, content with caption, picture with caption. I already have a title slide on this page, so I'm just going to click on the blank slide and add a blank slide. Now you see I have two thumbnails, and each one of them represents different slide. As I click on the thumbnail, I can toggle and switch between two different slides. Let's add a title to our presentation. You just need to click on the title section and type in the title. I took advantage of both sections and added title and subtitle here, but it looks kind of plain. So let's see how we can enhance it. There's nothing works better than adding the image to PowerPoint slide. So let's consider adding PowerPoint logo, and let's just locate it in the right place. I copied and pasted logo from the image editor, but you can also insert a picture right from file on your hard drive. Or you can use stock images or Bing pictures from online. Once you have image on the screen, you can move it around to find the right place to make the data more presentable. Or you can choose different design themes to help enhance your presentation. You can navigate to Design tab and switch between different themes to see how well they will look with what you're trying to present. Let me share with you one cool trick here. As I was switching between the themes, I realized that my PowerPoint logo has a white background and it doesn't look good on the different templates within PowerPoint. So what I need an image of PowerPoint logo with transparent background. I created this image in the image editor, and the only thing I need to do right now is to upload it into the PowerPoint Online. To do that, I'm going to navigate to the Insert tab, click Pictures, find Pictures from this device, and choose the file to upload. Now you can look at both of these logos side by side. It is the same logo, but the logo on the left has a transparent background versus logo on the right, which has white background. Now I can remove logo on the right because logo on the left provides me more flexibility. To delete something, I just need to select the image and click the Delete button. As you can see, this image looks much more professional. I can resize it and have it in any corners because I can move it around the slide. And because it has transparent background, and this image will work just fine with any theme. Let's say that I like this theme. Now, as you selected the theme, you can select a different color variants here, and you can switch between the variants right here in the Design tab. Let me go back and select this particular variant, and I'm going to move my logo into the bottom right corner. Now let's go back and work on another slide. I'm going to click on the Home tab, and now I realized that probably this is not the right slide for me, as I would like to have a title and I would like to have a content in the slide. To delete the slide, you right-click on the thumbnail and click the Delete Slide button. Let's go ahead and insert a new slide. I clicked on the new slide, and you see that the new slide, they follow the template that we've selected. And the best slide for me would be title and content. Let's first give this slide a title. And the title will be, What is PowerPoint Online? Let's suppose that I need to do a research and find out what is PowerPoint Online. So I did my research, and this is the text that I would like to add to my slide. I typed the text in the text editor and copy and pasted it right into the PowerPoint. And PowerPoint Online is the version of traditional PowerPoint desktop application, which allows you to create a slideshow of important information, charts and images to display during a presentation. It is very frequently used for business and school presentations. Some people would like to just put text on the slide and read it during the presentation, and this is fine too. I would like to enhance it and take it to the next level. So I'm going to copy this text and put it into Notes section. And then I'm going to modify it to only show the bullets here on the screen and have the text here handy. This way, people will just see the bullets, which would be the shorter version of this definition. And then I will be able to read this text right when I'm presenting. Now you can see that I modified the text and only have 3 bullets here on the screen. Simplified version of traditional PowerPoint desktop. So what is PowerPoint Online? The viewers will be able to read the 3 bullets. Simplified version of traditional PowerPoint desktop. Has limited capabilities, frequently used for business and school presentations. And I will be able to enhance the presentation by reading the text from the notes. And I'm going to say PowerPoint Online is the simplified version of PowerPoint desktop application, which allows you to create a slideshow of important information, charts and images to display during the presentation. It is very frequently used for business and school presentations. So this is another tip of how you can enhance and make your PowerPoint presentation professional. You do not put everything you're going to say right on the slide. You put short version of the information on the slide and have a text for yourself to read if you're not comfortable to presenting and just talking in your own words. Because there is less text right now on the screen, people will be able to easily read it, and I will be able to enhance the presentation and say something that is not shown on the slide itself. Because I have less text on the screen right now, I can also increase the size of the text to make it better visible. I am going to select this section and click Increase Font Size. I can also add PowerPoint logo. I already have it in the slide 1. All I need to do is just select it, click Copy, and then paste it in the new slide. I am probably going to consider reducing the size of the logo so it doesn't overlap with the text. Let's talk a little bit about saving and printing your presentation. By default, the presentation gets a default name, which is just the presentation. You can rename it by clicking here and putting a new title. Your presentation is automatically saved into OneDrive, so you don't need to worry here to click in the Save button. If you go to the File tab, you will be able to download your application, share it with somebody, or print it. When you print it, you can print it as PDF, or you can send it right to the printer. Because this is in the browser, you have limited capabilities of printing. So I would recommend you print to the PDF first and then send PDF to the printer.
Please consider subscribing to this channel. Skills that you learn here will be helpful for you now and also in the future. You also get opportunity to help other people by answering their questions and helping them solve their challenges. If you like the content, please give this video a big thumbs up. This tells us that you need more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.